Hello everybody, welcome back to another contest. This is my second contest video that I'm filming today. This is for everybody's good friend Larry Graves, the Canadian Stud Muffin. Uh, Larry has one of the biggest channels in the music related world. Uh, he's been a good friend to me, has given me a couple of great gifts. We've had some business transactions with some CDs that he let me buy off of him. And Larry's just a good guy, always commenting, always supporting my channel, which he doesn't have to do because his channel is so large and mine is not. I really used to enjoy live streams on Larry's channel. Really helped push my channel up in the last year. And I owe a lot to Larry, so I'm more than happy to jump in on this contest, which he's just throwing for the heck of throwing a contest. And I'm, obviously going to enter it because I won the last contest that Larry had just a little over a couple months ago. So this is this was a difficult contest. Larry wants us to make 5 double albums, and what he wants us to do is he wants us to take five artists that they have a couple of albums that came out around the same time frame, and musically, stylistically, they're similar. And he wants us to merge them together. If you have the capability, make a new album cover, give the album a new name, and then let him know, what sides go where. But he doesn't want us to change up uh, song placement on the album. So it'll make sense once I start jumping into it. The first one I'm going to do, I'm actually going to break a rule right off the bat here, Larry, so forgive me. I'm going to make a triple album, which I've seen a couple people do, and I'm going to do it with these albums right here. Michael Nesmith and the First National Band, obviously Mike Nesmith from the Monkees, the coolest member of the Monkees, Mr. Woolhat himself, came out with 3 fantastic country rock albums in the early 70s after he left the Monkees. He had Magnetic South, he had Loose Salute, and then he had Nevada Fighter. Now, whenever I listen to one of these albums, I have to listen to the other 2 because they're so stylistically similar. Really, the only main difference is Nevada Fighter has some covers on the second side. But when thinking about what order to put these in, I thought I would just put them in the order that I listened to them, which is the exact order that they came out. So we're going to start with Magnetic South, then go to Loose Salute, and then finally Nevada Fighter, and simply call the album Michael Nesmith and the First National Band. Imagine that coming out, in 1970, 71, all of that great music from one of the Monkees. It'd be pretty cool. So Mike Nesmith and the First National Band, the Red, White, and Blue trilogy. Next, another one of my favorites. I'm going to go with the very first Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers self-titled album. Well, it's their first album, but Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the first album, with the second album called You're Gonna Get It. The hits combined on this, you've got Breakdown, American Girl, Listen to Her Heart, I Need to Know. You're Gonna Get It was a minor hit. So, stylistically, Tom and the Heartbreakers were trying to find themselves. This was, just before Damn the Torpedoes came out as their third album. This was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers finding that sound before they jumped into the Damn the Torpedo sessions. So, what I'm going to do is side 1 of this album is going to start it off because it's a great kickstart to his career because the opening song is called Rockin' Around With You. So cool. Tom is so young and full of fire, and you go right in from that into the smooth, it's kind of sultry groove of Breakdown, and then they finish off with Anything That's Rock and Roll. Anything that's rock and roll is fine. Just a really great vocal from Tom. And then you're gonna go side 2 of the double album is going to be the first side of You're Gonna Get It, which opens with When the Time Comes, then You're Gonna Get It, Hurt, Magnolia, Too Much Ain't Enough, which is a kind of a punk rock kind of song, And actually, I'm going to go with side 3 as the second side of this as well. So you open side 2 with "I Need to Know," followed by the quick punch of "Listen to Her Heart," one of my all-time favorite Tom Petty songs. So jangly, so Birds-like. "No Second Thoughts" is a great kind of country-ish ballad. "Restless," probably the weakest track. And then "Baby's a Rock and Roller," which is, again, a high sung voice by Tom. "My baby is a rock and roller." So we're going to close out the album with the second side of the first album, because you're going to go into the song "Stranger Than the Night," which has a cool like echo background vocal. "Fooled Again," which is again kind of a punky kind of song. "Mystery Man" has a beautiful guitar played by Mike Campbell, very country. "Luna" has kind of a cool like piano style, and Petty's almost singing like in a whisper. And then it closes with one of the best closing songs ever, "American Girl." I had to close the album with "American Girl," and that's going to be the title of this album. So these two albums combined are going to be called "American Girl," Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Next, we're going to jump into a group I hardly ever talk about, and that's the Grateful Dead. No surprise, I'm going to combine "American Beauty" with "Working Man's Dead." It's the two country rock albums that the Grateful Dead came out with, 1970 and both 1970, which is incredible to think that they both came out in the same year. I'm going to start with side 1 of "Working Man's Dead," which opens with the great song "Uncle John's Band," which is a huge live song by the group. Goes into "High Time," "Dire Wolf," and then closes that side with "New Speedway Boogie," which is a great Jerry sung vocal. Side 2, I'm going to go with side 1 of "American Beauty," the Phil Lesh song "Box of Rain," "The Friend of the Devil," "Sugar Magnolia," "Operator," and then "Candyman." And then we're going to go into the second half of this album with Cumberland Blues, "Black Peter," which is a great song, "Easy Win," and then Casey Jones, which is a huge hit, "Driving that train high on cocaine. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed." And then we're going to close it off with side 2 of "American Beauty," the beautiful song "Ripple," "Broke Down Palace," "Till the Morning Comes," "Addicts of My Life," and then we close on the high note with "Truckin'." One of the great Grateful Dead songs, and obviously, what a long, strange trip it's been. That's the perfect way to close the album. And I'm going to call that album "Beautiful Dead." Kind of combines "Working Man's Dead" with the "American Beauty." I think "Beautiful Dead" sounds like a Grateful Dead album cover, and it fits the style of that music. Next, we're going to jump into 60s Bob Dylan with "Bringing It All Back Home" and "Highway 61." This is the first of Dylan's Electric trilogy, and this is the second, 1965 and 66. 65 and 65, which again is absolutely unbelievable. These both came out in 65. We're going to start with side 1 of "Highway 61," because we have to open with like a Rolling Stone. I mean, that crack of the snare drum is the only way to open this album. It makes sense. And then it goes into "Tombstone Blues," "Takes a Lot a Laugh," "Takes a Train to Cry," "From a Buick 6," and then "Ballad of a Thin Man," which is the eerie ending to side 1. Something happening, but you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones? Then we're going to go into side 2 of "Bringing It All Back Home." So we're going to take a break from the electric, go with the acoustic side of "Bringing It All Back Home." So we have, Mr. Tambourine Man, "Gates of Eden," "It's All Right Ma," it's "All Over Now, Baby Blue." So, I mean, again, just a break from the electric, and then we're going to go back into side 1 of this. So we're going to start side 3 with "Subterranean Homesick Blues," "She Belongs to Me," "Maggie's Farm," "Love Minus Zero," all that good stuff. And then we're going to close it with the second half of "Highway 61 Revisited," "Queen Jane Approximately," the title track "Highway 61," "Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues," And then we're going to close it with the epic 11-minute song, Desolation Row, one of my favorite Dylan songs. And we're going to call the album Desolation Homesick Blues. I think that would be kind of cool for, Dylan in that time. And then we're going to close this contest with a couple of Byrds albums. We're going to do their first two, Mr. Tambourine Man, staying with the Dylan theme, and then Turn, Turn, Turn. We're going to open with the album Turn, Turn, Turn will be sides 1 and 2. Just a few of the songs: Turn, 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 It Won't Be Wrong, Lay Down Your Weary Tune, He Was a Friend of Mine. They do a version of The Times They Are Changing, and then they close with Oh Susanna, the traditional. And then sides 3 and 4 are going to be Mr. Tambourine Man. The first song will be the title track. Mr. Tambourine Man goes right into the very jangly Gene Clark song, I Feel a Whole Lot Better. They do the song The Bells of Rhymney, All I Really Want to Do, another Bob Dylan song. Chimes of Freedom, and then they close with the Vera Lynn song We'll Meet Again, which is the only way to close this album as well. And we're just going to stick to calling it Turn, Turn, Turn because it fits, and that's why I wanted Turn, Turn, Turn to start the album. So there you go, Larry. Hope this makes sense to you. Hope it makes sense to everybody watching it. Good luck to everybody. Larry, thanks again for all you do for me and for everybody that you help out with your channel. All right, everybody, in the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. Talk to y'all real soon. Bye now.